Good afternoon, Musketeers. It's March 29th, 2019. I'm Aiden Callahan.
And I'm Isabella Mastriani. This is Xavier News.
From the Xavier University Television Studio, this is Xavier News. Your campus, your region, your world. This is Xavier News.
It's been over a week since Special Counsel Robert Mueller finished his report on Russian interference in the 2016 election, but the document still has not been released to the public. Instead, on Sunday, Attorney General William Barr wrote to Congress offering what he considered the principal conclusions of the document. The most significant of these conclusions was that the Trump campaign had not taken part in any conspiracy to undermine the election. However, Barr's account does raise some questions, as it is a 4-page summary of what the Justice Department says is an over 300-page report. Democrats have accused him of covering up damaging information, citing that he and Mueller may have different views on whether or not Trump obstructed justice. Democrats have demanded that the Attorney General make the full report and evidence public, but the Justice Department may have good reasons to block the release. Barr and Mueller's teams are currently reviewing the full report to redact information that they do not believe should be made public for one reason or another. Barr has told lawmakers that it'll be weeks until more information is released.
The college admissions scandal has made a big mark in the education world and at many universities across America. Major celebrities involved in this scandal include Lori Loughlin, aka Aunt Becky from Full House, and her fashion designer husband, Massimo Giannulli, who is the creator of the Massimo brand clothing sold at Target. These are just some of the 50 people charged in the $50 million scandal, according to NBCNews.com. This scam revolved around students posing as athletes to get into the school, as was the case for Olivia Jade and Isabella Giannulli, who are daughters of Massimo and Loughlin, who posed as members of the crew team despite never actually rowing before. NBC News reports that the parents of Olivia Jade and Isabella paid $500,000 to boost their chances of getting into USC, a school that already has a 17.7% acceptance rate. After surrendering to federal authorities on March 13th, Lori Loughlin was released on a $1 million bond. This scandal is costing the family more than just tons of money. Lori Loughlin has been fired from the Hallmark Channel, and Olivia Jade has lost brand deals with both Sephora and Tresemme. The head of this whole scheme is William Singer in Newport Beach, California, who had more than 700 clients. However, it is unknown if all of them were participating in the scheme.
5 Democratic members of the Cincinnati City Council were accused of holding separate meetings in a private group chat. Conservative activist Mark Miller has successfully sued the city as these texts violate the Ohio open meetings laws, but the story may not end there. As part of the lawsuit, the city was forced to release 300 pages of emails sent between various combinations of the 5 city council members and the mayor. Some of what was said in these emails was clearly never meant for public consumption, such as the mayor adamantly claiming that the Cincinnati homeless population does not know what's best for them. He subsequently shot down requests to give them more time to relocate during their removal from downtown last summer. The mayor added, quote, "Don't treat illegal camps like a neighborhood that should receive city services," end quote. Besides the homeless camp discussion, the emails also show the council members forming committees, talking gun control, and even throwing around the idea of getting a city dog.
At Miami University in Oxford, Ohio, a report was released with allegations of hazing in the frat Delta Tau Delta. According to WLWT5, president of Miami University, Greg Crawford, was left disheartened and outraged. 25 people within this frat were, quote, forced to consume large amounts of alcohol and marijuana, end quote. In the report, the details reveal that the victims were spit on and hit with paddles covered in spikes and were not allowed to leave. The hazing was so bad that the victim eventually told someone, quote, "Call 911, I feel like I'm going to die," end quote. The fraternity has been suspended, and now all fraternities and sororities are under review. The future of Delta Tau Delta is dependent on a hearing and the finalized investigation.
Father Graham spoke to the Student Government Association about a variety of campus news on Monday. First, he provided updates on the hub, including an updated release date. The building will now open in 2 separate stages, with the recreational part of the facility opening in November of this year. Stage 2 will be the academic facilities in the building, where classes will take place beginning second semester. Next, Father Graham talked housing, confirming that a new residence hall will be built. The planned location is between Coleman and Bangor, right across from Brockman. The dorm could open as early as 2021, though no dates are final. In the meantime, University Station will be opening a new apartment complex for off-campus housing in August 2020. Another major concern he addressed was Justin Carabello, owner of Carabello Coffee. It has recently been uncovered that he was part of an organization in 2008, the same year he started his coffee company, which offered counseling to cure men of porn addiction and homosexuality. His current ties with the organization are unknown, but the connections have raised concerns among the Xavier LGBT community. Father Graham said Carabello will be meeting with auxiliary services about the issue, and the university will determine the best course of action based on his response. The final issue addressed was safety. The Xavier Police Department has a new chief, former FBI agent Robert Warfel, set to start working full-time in the next few weeks. The university will also be adding another emergency phone in the village, more lighting in the parking lot, and may take place in a service called Palm, a security device that fits in your palm. You can press it to request a fake call in an uncomfortable situation, call the XUTVA, and much more. Overall, much was said at the meeting, and many plans seem to be in the works.
All right, that's all from the news desk, people.
We'll be right back with Lucas.
Good afternoon, Xavier fans, and welcome back to the Xavier Sports Report. I'm Lucas Robbins, and we'll start off today's show with the big news of March, the end of the college basketball season. Our Musketeers were not able to make it to the March Madness tournament despite a late season surge and had to go through the NIT tournament as a number 3 seed, unfortunately. After an amazing win in the first round versus Toledo, the Musketeers fell in the second round to 2-seeded Texas in a hard-fought 76-78 overtime game. Center Tyreek Jones had a career high 22 points and a game high 11 rebounds, alongside Hanky McSpanky's 13 points and 8 rebounds in an effort to finish his career. And Xavier, combining with those two, dominated the paint all game long. Unfortunately, Xavier just couldn't match Texas's 3-point shooting down the stretch. The Musketeers end their the first season of Coach Steele's career with a 19-16 record, and the first season without a March Madness bid since 2014. While I did say this was going to be a down year for the team before the season, help is on the way for next year. The Musketeers will see a top 20 in the nation recruiting class of freshmen coming in, a new sophomore transfer player in Jason Carter from OU, who led the Bobcats in both scoring and rebounding this season, and added familiarity to the young team in Steele's system. The Musketeers will be back and better than ever next year. While the basketball season might be over for the Musketeer faithful, baseball season is in full swing. On Tuesday, the team had an epic comeback against Wright State, rallying from a 5-run deficit to win 9-8 in extra innings, thanks to 2 big innings at bat and 4 innings scoreless stretch on the mound, thanks to freshman pitcher Lane Flam. Notable performances aren't limited to the star relief pitcher, as Chris Given moved into 4th place all times in triples in Xavier history. Connor Grams had his 4th home run of the season, extending his on-base game streak to 7. And Luke Franzoni led all Musketeers with 3 RBIs. Today they start a long road trip to play against the Texas Longhorns for 3 games, and then Eastern Kentucky on April 3rd. And then they'll return home to Hayden Field from April 5th to the 7th for a few matchups with our Big East rivals, the Georgetown Hoyas. And that'll do it for another broadcast of the Xavier Sports Report. I'm Lucas Robbins. Happy early April Fools, and as always, let's go X.